consulting with our top government health professionals, I have decided
What is up? What is up? Hello everybody. Welcome back to the channel. We'll wait a few minutes for some people to get in. Friday the 13th, and boy, do we got some weird shit to go over today, guys. Thanks everybody for dropping by the Dr. Crocko channel. Thought we'd do it over here tonight. Figured with a Friday the 13th, out of work a little earlier than normal, figured we'd get a stream in on this channel. Talk a little bit coronavirus, just some weird things surrounding it, nothing too deep. Want to do an update on the Doomsday Cult. Where are the missing kids in Idaho? The Latter-day Saints cult that we've been doing updates on. A little weird story about Andrew Gillum. Going to have to get into that a little bit. We'll just see where the stream takes us. Some Tom Hanks, some Kenneth Copeland healing people through the TV, some more miracle healers out there. I think we'll have enough just to have a fun time over here tonight. I got Andy here already. Good to see you, buddy. Modus, what's up? Hey, Sarah, glad you could make it. Now, we usually, just a little less people than normal over on this channel, but it seems to be growing pretty well. I think we had 1,100 subs just the other day, so this channel is doing well, so very happy with that. Spooky Sunday will be back this week. Special topic. I think we're going to do serial killers, so it should be a fun week over here. And then we'll obviously have some streams on the main channel as well. The other night, very good stream numbers were, I don't know, I think we had like 300 or something watching live. Over almost to 3,000 views, so everything's going very well. Very happy to see everybody, and thanks everybody for the support. Like I said, we'll start off with some weird stories around coronavirus. We'll probably do a deeper dive into that on the main channel. I just want to talk about a couple odd things that I've been seeing. Maybe we'll start with Bill Gates resigning from Microsoft. I mean, that's pretty odd. Now, a lot of people are still busting out their theories that this is just, all the deep state's making their moves, but there's a white hat team that's on the other side, and that they're going to save America. If they're going to try to pull this thing off, if they're really going to try to pull this thing off, then the first thing they're going to do is tank the economy. And that's going to happen with very large American companies dumping all of their stocks, dumping all of their subsidiaries. And you're going to see a lot of companies start doing that. And you're going to see people like Bill Gates leaving his official role at Microsoft. And we'll get into a little bit more about Bill Gates because he's a massive figure around this. There's so many videos you can pull up of Bill Gates giving his speeches about pandemics and vaccines. He's known to spend a lot of money on his doomsday bunkers, so we'll have to get into a couple of those stories. Tom Hanks with his Illuminati son, wearing his all-seeing eye tattoo, giving the update on the family. Very weird. We'll have to play that video. I'm not a big crypto guy. See people talking about that in the chat. I don't know much about it. I know the markets for everything are volatile right now. So I know that crypto took a big dip. I know Mersh knows a lot more about that stuff than I do, so I don't try to speak on the crypto markets because I'm just not in them, and I don't know how much they've fluctuated in the past week. It's not something I follow. But if you do know about it, it's a good thing to stay up on. Sarah asked, do you think that since the impeachment didn't work, they did the virus instead? No, I do not. I don't think... I think the impeachment served its purpose as a distraction, but I don't think there's a one team that's behind the thing. I don't think, well, the Democrats tried the impeachment, so now the Democrats tried I don't think the Democrats are the only evil people we have to worry about. It's everybody involved, and it's not the people that we see on TV. These are just high-level minions, high-level puppets. It's the people behind the scenes. These people aren't affiliated to parties. These people are behind the scenes manipulating the major things. What's going on, Semper? Good to see you. So no, I don't think it's a Democrat versus Republican thing, although they'll use it to fling shit at each other in public, but it's not going to matter if they're able to pull this thing off. If they're able to pull this thing off, they're going to be pulling things down like the election. They're going to make that so it can't be a big public event as it usually would. They're already starting it now by pulling NBA games. They're going to pull WrestleMania. They pulled XFL games. UFC is talking about fighting without a crowd. So they're already getting the public prepped to not be into large crowds. This means assembling in large crowds like you would do if you would protest something or fight back against the government. Well, they're going to make it mandated so you can't get together in large crowds. So that's one of the many tactics they're going to use, and I explained that the other night, but I'll just quickly explain it. One of the reasons they come out and call it a pandemic is so that they're able to pass these things on a state and local level. When you label something a pandemic, you're just allowed more leverage at the local level to say, okay, we can't have anybody, we can't have crowds of more than 250 people. Certain things go into place. Certain money is released. They're working on $1 trillion slush funds right now. And I've been talking to a lot of people, and, a lot of people are caught up in this. Well, the Democrats are just going to try to get money for this, and they tried to put this in the bill. Everybody that's involved in the bill is going to try to fit something into the bill. Again, this isn't a Democrat versus Republican thing. The face of it will be Donald Trump, which very odd. He's sounding more sick and more sick every time I hear him. Very lethargic. I think one of their big plays is going to be making a major celebrity take a fall publicly. I don't know if they're going to outright do it with Tom Hanks. Seems like they're priming us with Tom Hanks, but it could be another large celebrity. But if they're going to go full force with this thing, they're going to really have to, show a lot of numbers and use a lot of famous faces that are technically, supposedly getting sick. We'll talk about the whole Tom Hanks thing because it's weird. The way he announced it, the picture that he posted, his son, again, who has the all-seeing eye tattoo and actually another even more strange tattoo right above it that I didn't really hear many people talking about, but we'll talk about that whole thing. So one of the first things that we'll bring up, mass graves for the coronavirus victims in Iran can be seen from space. Just a very odd article I came across. We'll start with this one. The 415 Giant says, many of my friends truly believe in WHO. We'll just remember WHO. It's going to be important in a second when we get to Tom Hanks. Now, since the first cases of the COVID-19, which you notice they've changed the name of this thing like 3 or 4 times now. You started off, they were just, Wuhan flu, coronavirus, COVID-19. That makes things very complicated. Not for the people that are looking into this thing on a regular basis, but if you're just somebody that sees the mainstream media and you're constantly seeing different names, that couldn't be confusing for you. The people that this would actually affect, that would be confusing for. Elderly people that don't watch a lot of TV. But there was, since the first cases in Iran, there has been a great deal of confusion about how many deaths the illness had caused and how many cases there are throughout the country. The official tally in Iran is 430 deaths, and we can't trust any of these numbers from any countries. At this point, every single country that we've seen numbers from, there's also been reports telling us that the numbers are nowhere near there. You have some people saying, well, no one's actually getting sick. Then you have other people saying, well, there's so many more people that died from this that they're not counting. So you don't know what information to trust from other countries. But a disturbing report published in the Washington Post, again, that's Washington Post is one of the main tenets of misinformation. But they've revealed that a mass grave has recently been dug in Iran. The mass graves are so large, they can be seen from space and are clearly much larger than what would be needed for a few hundred people. So you can just see the size of this field here from space, and they're just, obviously pointing out you would never need something that large if your death toll was 430 people. At least if you die in America, you'll probably get a funeral out of the deal. Your family will probably be able to bury your body. I don't think you're going in any mass graves yet. I see a lot of people sharing old FEMA camp videos. We can't be caught up in the FEMA camp coffin hysteria sometimes. If you see a video that's from 2002, it's hard to wedge it into the coronavirus conspiracy. I think that just hurts your cause if you're trying to do that. We all remember those videos. We don't have to rehash the old FEMA camp stuff. But yeah, these are just satellite images. Massive monkey gangs fighting for food on the streets as tourist food disappears. So these are the monkeys that usually come out, maybe 2, maybe 3 of them. They fuck with you. They take your food, pick your pocket. We all know about these things. Well, now not as many tourists are out. Not as many of them are getting fed. Now you're seeing large numbers of them just running the streets. We have Planet of the Apes going down. It isn't just causing humans to fight in the aisles of Target for toilet paper. Today, in signs of the apocalypse, hungry monkey gangs are also swarming and fighting for food in the streets of Thailand. Monkeys in the country are usually well fed by tourists who visit central Thailand, but visitors have plummeted as a result of the coronavirus outbreak, which has hit the Asian region hard. The animals shown in the video are reported to be by 2 separate rival gangs. Turf wars. We have turf wars going on over in Thailand. Now, I can't tell the difference between these people. Maybe I'm racist. I don't know. They just look all like brown monkeys to me. But these are from 2 rival monkey gangs. Now, half of them are said to live in the temple area. So we got the temple monkeys. While these are the dirty city monkeys. Dirty city monkeys versus your temple area monkeys. They don't usually meet up. But this past week, they were forced to share the same turf, and shit went down. An onlooker explained, I think the monkeys were very, very hungry. There's normally a lot of tourists here to feed them, but now there's not as many because of the coronavirus. Hundreds of them are shown in footage fighting over a single banana. Let's see if I can pull this up real quick. Get some video footage. Yes, Adam Curry, brown power, my friend. They see, like, shit like this is great, man. Look at this. This is just a 10-second video. We need more video of this. I don't care what any of you guys say, you would be you would be scared. Don't tell me that you'd be all cool and normal. It's like right in the middle. There's one piece of food right in the middle. You can see them all. See right at the beginning. I'll try to pause it. See this little pack right in the middle, right where that orange truck is, right below that. That's where a single piece of food fell, and now they all come swarming in. You would be scared if you saw that shit in the streets. I don't care what anyone says. I don't care how tough they think they are. And look you got cars just chilling, people on motorcycles. I mean, the tourists are gone, but I mean, this is central Thailand, so there's cars driving on the streets. These things are just taking over. Like if I was this guy, wait a second, where is it? Right at the end of the video, there's a guy on, one of these mopeds. Hell no. I'm not going to be having my legs exposed. Right? These things are killing each other over one banana. It's one of those things you think about sometimes, like what's stopping them? If their just little brain could handle like formulating, okay, let's take this motherfucker over. How easily could they do it? Like if birds just decided one day, like, all right, let's just start swooping down and fucking pecking people. How quickly would we just bitch out to that? I mean, I'm not taking on a pack of turf monkeys, especially the city ones. Those city ones are dangerous. Yes, 12 Monkeys. Yeah, good movie. It's Brad Pitt, right? 12 Monkeys. Haven't seen that in a while. All right, let's get a little Tom Hanks situation going on here. Oh, and we'll get to his son that gave the statement. Now, we might get a little weird with this because Tom Hanks is a weird fucking dude. But if we didn't see the announcement of how he announced his coronavirus sickness, which, again, I'm not buying. I think they're just using celebrities to get more fear, more panic out there. Not saying no one's getting sick. I'm not saying that there's not a chance of people getting sick. I'm not saying that. I am saying they're going to use every celebrity, every politician, and every single tactic they can to keep this in the mainstream media. So this is how Tom Hanks decided to announce it with his weird little Instagram posts. And if you guys don't know what Tom Hanks does, he posts weird-ass pictures of gloves and socks and just odd things that he supposedly finds just randomly, which I don't buy. I think he places some of these things. Like this picture is obviously staged, and you'll see some other ones that are staged. Someone said Bruce Willis. Well, I think they're going to use a celebrity. I don't know if it's going to be Tom Hanks, but I think they're going to... they're going to use a celebrity. There's going to be a big celebrity death or something like this that they can, the world's going to stop, just like they did with Kobe Bryant, and there was a big mourning period. If they're going to move forward with this thing, they're going to have to pull out all the stops like that. They'll have to use a celebrity. It could be an actual sacrifice or it could be a made up one, but they're going to be using big, large names, like a household name like a Tom Hanks, to really put the fear, put the sadness in the people that worship these idols. So you can see this is how he announces it. This is, again, Tom Hanks. So no, not a professional statement, not an agent, not someone in the media that works for him coming out saying, a nice professional, read on the news by friends that he has. No. A weird-ass picture on Instagram of a surgical glove and a surgical wastebasket. And this goes to his history. You can just go through his Instagram. He posts this shit all the time. His little socks, his little red shoes, the little sandals that are laying around. I mean, this guy's whole Instagram is full of this shit. I think Pockets of the Future calls it Instaghoul. I like that name. Very weird pictures. I remember looking into this last year when Tom Hanks and who was it? Was it Steven Spielberg and Tom Hanks were in the media? because of allegations. Remember this whole thing, and NBC came out and did a whole spread of why you can't believe YouTube conspiracy theorists that come out with these things. I mean, they've used Tom Hanks for a very long time to push back against people that want to spread truth or make videos about this kind of stuff. I'm just scrolling through a little bit just to show you. It goes back like where's the shit like this is weird, you know? Just in today's day and age to post a pacifier, I mean, that one kind of weirds me out. You know, the sock thing, I understand it with the shoes and where people go with it. The gloves, I don't really understand. But, like, this is staged. That wasn't just sitting there. You know what I mean? Like, this wasn't just out on the street. There wasn't a pink shoe on a couch just chilling. No way that was like that. So, like, he's staging some of these things, which is just odd. He does have a thing for these cars, too. I don't know how far back I'm going to be able to go, though. But he has a thing for these little cars. And you'll always see him, like, going up to them and touching them. Like, acting like he's, like, breaking into them or something. I don't know, man. This whole guy's Instagram is fucking odd and bizarre. See, he always does the same pose. You know, this is obviously a wrecked car, but he always goes up to it like he's about to get in it. Just a weird dude, man. So, of course, they're using him for this, you know? Of course they are. Oh, yeah, this was just laying on the ground. Yep, it was right there. Couldn't believe it. It's so weird. I find one of these things every day. You know, it's like, no, you don't. You're obviously fucking staging some of these things. And there's plenty of them. I know someone's going to ask if there's, you know, a bunch of red shoes. Yes, there's plenty of red shoes that he posts all the time. I mean, you can just keep going back. It's the same shit over and over. The little cars that he goes up to, or weird little socks or little trinkets that he takes pictures of. I mean, I'm back like probably 2 years at this point. I mean, this guy's been doing this for a very long time with his odd shit. Someone said he's weird, just like most celebrities. Yeah, well, you know, sometimes it's a little different. But like I said, we could get real weird with it. Break down one of his Golden Globe speeches. Now, I'm not saying this is predictive programming. I'm not saying that he was setting up people for the coronavirus. Just saying that he said some weird shit. So he's going to talk about everyone having to do their job, having to hit their marks, having to go there. He's going to talk about 3 a.m. and 11 at night. Now, he announced his coronavirus on 3/11. Just saying. About showing up on time, doing your job. A lot of different things. It sounds like a lot of little reminders to be ready for things. You know, showing up on time, playing your role. I'm not saying that he was setting up the coronavirus. Let's not get too wacky. Just saying he dropped some odd shit in his speeches.
Chan knows that a movie is made shot by shot. And at that moment, what is required is everybody has to do their job to their perfection. They have to hit a mark, and they have to...
Let's be careful here.
Go there. Sometimes the movie rests on the shoulders of the makeup artist who put on Stellan Skarsgård's eyebrows.
And this is a picture of his son right here. This is a picture of Tom Hanks' son with his all-seeing eye tattoo. And look what's right above the all-seeing eye tattoo. Now, this is him giving a statement about coronavirus, and we'll play this in a second. But you can see right above the all-seeing eye, what does it say? WHO. Kind of weird.
Sometimes it's the focus puller that if it isn't sharp, you don't have it, and it shows up and you have to do it all over again. But it's those moments as an actor where everybody I have ever worked with has helped me get to that place. Sometimes it's 3 o'clock in the morning, and sometimes it's 11 at night.
3 a.m. or 11 at night. And he announced his coronavirus on 3/11. Very weird. Now, he dropped some other things in the speech. Most of it is about, you know, just playing your role, being ready for when it comes. He mentions this over and over and over. So many reminders that you need to get to the location on time. If they get there before the virus is spread, they'll be okay. He mentions a lab at some point. So, it's just a very odd little speech that he gave. Some people are taking a little too far that he was directing the coronavirus. I'm just saying that it's just a weird thing that fits after the fact. We know of the predictive programming that's been coming through old books, old movies we've broken down before. And that's the point of this channel, to get a little conspiratorial with the things. We've broken that book down, Edge of Darkness, where they had the Wuhan 400. The actual name of the virus in their book was the Wuhan 400. That book was from 1981. So these things are not coincidental, obviously. All right. Yeah, this is just a very, very... Yeah, well, obviously, yeah, the 33, that's always there. I cannot get over Tom Hanks' son, though. I mean, I remember seeing old videos of this guy and just, laughing at him. He was really wiggered out, obviously. But, again, I know we don't look up to Tom Hanks. We don't look up to celebrities. And we don't, we're not here for the idol worship. But if you're going to believe the official story that Tom Hanks came down with the coronavirus, why would you be giving that statement to people with your shirt off? It just makes absolutely zero sense unless you're showing off that tattoo for no reason. Just to put it right in your face. I mean, believe what you want about what the official story is and why they're telling you Tom Hanks is sick. They would have his family dressed normal to give the statement, is all I'm saying, if it were real. We know it's not real, but if it was real, they would just come out as normal people with a suit, normal little polo shirt on. You wouldn't come out
What's
like,
up, everyone?
what up, yo? Yo, what's up, niggas? Yo, what's good?
It's true. My parents got coronavirus. Crazy.
Yo, dog, yo, it's crazy, yo.
What's up, everyone? Yeah, it's true. My parents got coronavirus.
Yeah, dog, parents got coronavirus. Like, this is not how you would do it. It's not real.
What's up, everyone? Yeah, it's true. My parents got coronavirus.
Okay.
Crazy.
Oh, cool, man. Like, someone follows this guy. Now they released this through Complex. Complex is one of these like hip hop sites.
They're both down in Australia right now because my dad was shooting a movie down there.
Shooting an Elvis Presley movie, by the way.
But I just got off the phone with them. They both are fine. They're not even that sick. They're not worried about it. They're not tripping, but they're going through the necessary health precautions, obviously. But I don't think it's anything to be too worried about. I appreciate everyone's concern and the well wishes, but I think it's all going to be all right. But I appreciate it, and just everybody stay safe out there. Much love.
Much love, homie. Yeah, much love, dude.
It'll be all right, but
everything's gonna be all right, guys. Don't you worry your heads off.
I think it's all gonna be all right, but I appreciate it, and just everybody stay safe out there. Much love.
All right, dog. Yeah, all right, homie. Fucking Tom Hanks' son. All right, why is there a car beeping like a fucking... Shit annoys me sometimes. Like, if you have to beep more than 5 times, like, obviously someone's not responding to you. You're being annoying. You're annoying everybody in the neighborhood. Just cut the shit. I want to see what I remember Tom Hanks' son from. They're probably only going to have... The one thing I really hate about the looking shit up now is all you see is the latest stuff. But I remember years ago reading about Tom Hanks' son. Chet, right? Chet. Okay, Chet. Was he arrested before? Does anyone know any Chet information? Oh yeah, he was on a lot of drugs, man. He's the black sheep of the family. That's right. Smashed up a hotel room, crack addiction. Okay, oh yeah. But don't worry, guys. Tom Hanks is fine and, quote, not tripping after the coronavirus diagnosis. We're just going to go off on a little tangent here real quick. We'll get back to, got some Bill Gates stuff. I want to play this clip of Kenneth Copeland. Maybe pull out the Neil deGrasse Tyson clip with his hypodermic needle tie that he was wearing. Just so many little weird things that have been going on. Tom Hanks' son, Chet Hayes. Okay, dude. Yeah, fucking cool name, man. Cool name, bro. Chet Hayes explains that he was on a lot of drugs when he used the N-word frequently in music and social media. That's right. Is he a rapper? Did I forget about this whole saga of Chet Hanks? Oh, dog. Homie. Oh, no. No. Guys, no. Chet. Is he adopted? I don't think so, man. I think this is flesh and blood. This is real shit. I mean, there's no way we're not looking up his rap music right now. We'll get back to what we need to. Don't worry. I'll have the Doomsday Cult updates. That was the main point of the stream, but I got to, we have to know. Definitely want to hear some, oh, here we go. Tom Hanks can say the N-word. Cool. And then you got Colin Hanks, who's like, I think just a normal actor guy who's been on a few shows, right? Colin Hanks, his son, he's been in some movies. Chet Hanks with an X, guys. Not Hanks. Hanx. Oh, dude. Okay. Let's see where we're going. Oh, Joe Rogan's mentioned him before. I mean, if anybody has seen him, then you would obviously.
Every celebrity has their causes. Bono fights for Africa.
Oh God, I hate fucking TMZ videos.
Say the N-word.
I can't. I can't do a TMZ video. That guy's been working there for fucking ever. That's all he does is just scream. Chet Hayes, Chet Hanks, do it better, okay? Oh shit. What year is this?
Let's go. I heard all about you. Everybody say you're trouble, but they wanna be around you. Everybody seem to love you. I can't get enough of that.
Oh yeah.
I think I'm up for that.
Ladies? I mean, ladies. Come on.
I need a couple cups of that. With me and you, just a match. The floor, you break it down, you bring it up, you touch your toe. And you the baddest girl around, and you let everybody know. You got that heat, you on fire, you got that.
Alright, let's get real here. None of that pop shit. Let's get real, homie.
Got my bitch, she fuck with bitches.
Okay, yeah, here we go.
Showed her how we live, and now she not fucking with you. Ain't
Two guns up, nigga.
we got the juice. Posted smoking, don't relax and let these bitches chew.
Got my bitch, she fuck with bitches too. Showed her how we living, now she not fucking with you. Hey, young niggas, bitch, we got the juice.
I don't think that's him, right? That's not him.
I'm posted smoking, don't relax and let these bitches choose. Swagger off the road, smoking in the cold.
What is this? This fucking music is terrible. Chet Hanks. Keeping it real. Finest girl. So a lot of, got Howard Stern talked about him before. Alright, so, he's known. I'm just trying to see if there's any, Tom Hanks' son gets invited to cookout after doing fake Jamaican accent. I'm just trying to look for any, so Chet Hayes was his rap name, but I guess the career didn't work out, and now he's Okay, we'll watch this and then we'll just go.
Big up the whole island, massive. It's your boy Chatana, coming straight from the Golden Globes, you want it? Me feeling Father Thomas presenting in a what soon forward come. Big up, tune in.
His dad hates him. Tom Hanks probably hates him. Look at that's the best right there. We gotta save that photo. I could see a Photoshop in my future for this one. Oh, Chet Hayes. That's bad. That's really bad. Like, why is he on red carpets at a reward? I mean, I understand you're the son of Tom Hanks, but how far does that really get you? When you're that cringe, you would think they would be holding this guy back at some point. Like, all right, Chet, that's enough. Chet, you've overstayed your welcome, bud. All right. Yeah, you can't just be doing those accents nowadays like that. Brown power. All right, that's enough Chet. Let me see where I wanted to go from here. Like I said, one of the major things we were going to do is the Doomsday Cult, some updates on that, but I got some other just weird stuff. Now, dude, we were watching that video the other night of the Andrew Cuomo with the sanitizer, so I started, you know how Google does, they just start recommending you weird videos related to what you're watching, and since I watch a lot of weird shit, I get recommended some weird stuff. So Kenneth Copeland, we all know this weird televangelist guy, he came out and he put on a show where he was attempting to heal people, telling people he can heal them through their televisions. This is real. He's a scary looking dude, man.
Put your hand on that television set.
Yes.
Just be ready. Just be warned. Now, you guys need to get in the mindset. If you're feeling a little ill right now, if you're feeling a little sick, we all remember the video he put out a couple months ago where he got like real angry with the reporter. We all know Kenneth Copeland, right? We don't have to I don't have to explain who Kenneth Copeland, the televangelist, is. He got super angry with the reporter, pointed his finger at her. So he was on trying to heal viewers through the TV with an oily hand. So if you're feeling ill right now, just put your hand up to the computer screen. This is how you're going to heal yourself.
On that, put your hand on that television set.
Yes, Lord.
Hallelujah.
Thank you, Jesus.
Thank you, Lord Jesus.
Thank you.
He received your healing.
Yes.
What's on your hand, dude?
Now. Say it, I take it.
I take it.
I have it.
I have it.
It's mine.
It's mine.
I thank you and praise you for it.
Yes.
These are the worst kind of people, right? Like the I'm gonna heal you people. You know, it's the turpentine stuff, right? Like these are the worst kind of people, right? The fake, prey on people that have a little amount of money left and you're taking it from them by using their religion. Like, can we agree these are the worst kind of people? I mean, this is... Now, if you're getting healing right now, then obviously I don't want to break you out of your zone, but can we just all agree that this is gross? With his oily hand, I'm guessing that's some kind of like holy water juice he's trying to portray or saying. He's literally telling people standing against the coronavirus, it says on the screen behind him, put your hand up to the screen and you'll be healed. I think they just pulled some other televangelist. He was selling some product that was fake. Like he was telling people like he had some potion that would cure them. And I mean, I think he's in trouble now.
Thank you, Lord Jesus. He received your healing.
Yes.
Now. Say it, I take it.
I take it.
I have it.
I have it.
It's mine.
It's mine.
I thank you and praise you for it.
Yes, Lord.
And I forgive if I have aught against any.
I forgive.
And I praise you that I'm well and whole.
I praise you that I'm well and whole.
Yes.
According to the word of God,
According to the word of God.
I'm healed.
Yes.
And I consider not my own body.
Yes, consider not my own body.
I consider not symptoms in my body.
Yeah, you're healed now. Yeah, you're good. Anyone want? Yeah, you're good now. That's all you needed. That's all you needed. So if you were feeling any sickness before this, you should be all set. Unless you didn't actually put your hand up to the TV, which you're shit out of luck. I'm not playing for you again. I mean, that's a one-time healing process. Now, if you send in money, you have a chance to get more healed, but it's going to cost you. Now, he's on something called Victory News. Just the whole thing is, I hate televangelists. I really do. The Joel Osteens, this guy. And then there was another one. I had a video, and we'll get into the Bill Gates stuff too, but I had a video of this guy. He was selling some kind of product, and they had to literally pull it off the market because obviously it had no cure for the coronavirus in it. But they pulled the video down. I just went to open it, and it said, it's called Meet the Televangelist Selling Liquid That Kills the Coronavirus. Now, this video was on Now This, that stupid like YouTube channel that just plays clips. So it got removed from there, which is, they were just reporting on it. They weren't just playing the video. So let me see if I can find this. Sells cure for coronavirus. I mean, because you got to have the video with it. And his name's Jim Baker. I don't want to just pull up an article. I want the video of this guy shilling this shit out. Jim Baker ordered to stop selling fake cure. He had a infomercial style thing. Or like some ladies with him. Now, this doesn't cure the coronavirus, but it's been known to kill other strains, or she says something like that. It's like, I don't think so. So here he is. These people are great, man. Look, just got your silver solution. Get your birthday 4-pack. Silver solution 4-ounce gels. The Office of the New York Attorney General has ordered televangelist Jim Baker to stop selling a fake cure for the coronavirus. Family Silver Starter. Okay, so he's got this broad with him.
This is the Family Silver Solution Bundle.
$200. These people, man, they got no regard.
You get 6. I cannot believe that we have this for this amount.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was a 4-pack. It's a 6-pack.
You know, you were there when we started.
I mean, literally, this would be up in the thousands. If
Yeah.
It was back in the.
Oh yeah. That guy's thousands of dollars. This would be thousands. You're getting a deal here.
Put it back on the screen real quick. You get 6742. Now let me tell you this. This is for $200, and you do have to pay shipping and handling on that. So call right now and order yours at this low price, 888-777-3530, or go to ptlshop.com. Now, if you already have the DVD
Watch this.
and the book,
done tests to show that the silver has been proven to help with E. coli, to help with MRSA,
Okay.
to help with fungal infections, to help with various viruses, sexually transmitted diseases, which are viruses, bacteria.
Yeah.
It's destroyed those.
Yep, just destroyed it all. Now, what they're leaving out, they're going to tell you the benefits of silver and just tell you the benefits of different things that would be in a potion like this, right? If they were actually making something that could heal you, this stuff would be in there, and it could possibly heal these things, right? That's what they're telling you. That's what they're selling on you. Now, the bit that they leave out, and the reason that the Attorney General had to step in, is because none of this shit is in the product that they're selling. Not one fucking thing. So they're just selling bottles of God knows what liquid. It's probably just, some standard. I mean, it's snake oil, but I mean, it has none of these healing properties in it. It does nothing for you. It's just a family silver starter pack. Just, I mean, who knows how many of these things they sold. I saw the New York Attorney General came on and told Alex Jones he had to stop selling his stupid little potions and shit. These people will hawk anything on the desperate, man.
It has eliminated the pathogen in malaria.
I'm going to have to agree with you, Jan. Anybody who would spend $200 on blue bottles of water deserve to be ripped off. I agree. I do agree. But there is a sliver of the population that falls for this shit, or these things wouldn't exist. Now, this is not the... it was like a big telemarketing telemarketing, just a big marketing campaign that they had. That's not the video that I've seen. They've seemed to have pulled this down from multiple YouTube channels. I mean, now this is not by any means a channel that you would think would get pulled off.
I believe there is such a hatred for our president, and I will say this, and you may say I shouldn't, but I'm going to say it. If they can't get him out by courts and politically and put him in prison somehow, they want him to go to prison. They're applauding now for Trump to go to prison.
Oh,
God. No, not Trump.
They will kill him if they have to.
Oh, shit. So they really pump up that fear. Yeah, I can't... Okay, is this the one? Jim Baker is suggesting that a silver solution can kill the coronavirus within 12 hours. That's the video I want.
This influenza that is now circling the globe.
To unleash the full power of the federal government in this effort today, I am officially declaring a national emergency. Two very big words.
Come on now.
This influenza that is now circling the globe, you're saying that silver solution would be effective.
Well, let's say it hasn't been tested on this strain of the coronavirus, but it's been tested on other strains of the coronavirus and has been able to eliminate it within 12 hours.
Yeah.
Totally eliminate it, kills it, and deactivates it.
Yeah.
Totally deactivates the coronavirus, guys. Now, usually with these infomercials, look how many people they have on their panel. These people are making so much goddamn money, man. If you put 8 people on your panel to sell this shit, that means you're making enough money to pay 8 people, at least, plus the whole operation team, bottling this snake oil. Now, usually these people are smart enough to not come out and directly say that it'll cure the thing, or they don't say the actual word. You're not supposed to do that. Most of these scam artists know, okay, well, we don't say that it actually cures it. We just kind of beat around the bush and say that it can kill influenza-like strains or something. But they wanted to come out and thought they could get away with actually saying the coronavirus, which got them investigated, and now they're being looked into. Hopefully these companies crumble to the ground. These things are the worst, preying on people, although you are pretty dumb if you fall for this shit. All right. Let me see here. I got to get rid of a couple of these links. Conspiracy said he donated $10 through PayPal. We appreciate that a lot, my friend. Thank you very much. I haven't put my link up there or anything, but if you guys do want to support the show, support what we're doing here and the other channels, you can do so through PayPal. There's also Streamlabs. I think there's one specifically for this channel. Let me find the link here. So, yeah, if you guys want to support the show, that's how you can do it. It's not colloidal silver, though. It's just them acting like that's an active ingredient to go with this bottle of magic potion. If they were actually just selling silver, I think they could get away with doing that and then say whatever the healing properties that people have said that silver has. The problem is they're saying that they have a special magic potion that contains this stuff, but it doesn't actually contain that stuff. So that's the main issue with that. Yes, don't forget to like the stream. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it. Yeah, unsub from the channels? Well, yeah, that you still found it, though, so you're good. So I got recommended this weird one. 7-Eleven owner in New Jersey sold homemade hand sanitizer that burned 4 children. Okay. guys, don't buy homemade hand sanitizer, just like the New York State stuff. I went to the store today. It was the first time I went to the store where there seemed to be a shortage of some of this stuff. My opinion on that is just a lot of stores weren't prepared for the overbuying that was going to happen. I don't think there's a shortage in the amount that's getting made or the amount that's going to be able to be available. But there was a shortage on paper products at the store I went to today. And we probably have some of the best stores literally in the country. And I'm not like bragging about my area. Just we have this store called Wegmans, and they're just like really high quality stores. So if they're low on supplies, then I think this is something that's happening at a lot of places. That does not mean that if you can't find your normal Purell or your like Johnson & Johnson or some of these other companies that make sanitizer, that you should be going to 7-Eleven and buying homemade hand sanitizer. Do not trust any homemade hand sanitizer. An opportunistic business owner looking to make a buck in New Jersey has been summoned by New Jersey officials for endangering the welfare of children and deceptive business practices. Manisha Brown Power, who owns a 7-Eleven store in Bergen County, New Jersey, was charged after mixing foaming sanitizer not intended for resale with water and packaging the mixture in small bottles she sold, according to the New York Post. Retailers who try to make a quick buck by exploiting others will face civil and criminal consequences. The burning was caused by an apparent chemical reaction from the homemade mixture and left 4 boys, including a 10-year-old and 11-year-old, burned on Monday. So here's the little bottles she made. Yeah, if you see something like this, I mean, just there's no need. That does not look trustworthy. You don't need to spray on sanitizer. It's very odd. Spray bottles are for cleaning. They're not for spraying on your person. So if you see anything like this, I would not be putting that on exposed skin. But again, got people that are desperate to find certain supplies. You have people desperate to, quote, heal themselves. So you're always going to have opportunistic people that will prey on them and sell them shit like this, which is no benefit, actually harmful for them. All right. Apple cider vinegar. Kip says all 3 main warehouses for Publix. Now, Publix is in the South, right? Because I remember Publix when I was in Florida. Publix, Winn-Dixie's. Those are, I don't know if it's just Florida, but that's where I was. Says they're wiped clean of paper goods and sanitizer. Yeah, it seems to be the main thing in every state, that those are the products that everybody's out of. I'm not hearing... I mean, I went shopping today. You know, I was able to still get a couple of rolls, but they did have a sign that said, you know, we're putting a limit on how many each person can buy, stuff like that. And there was a lot of empty shelves of toilet paper, but every other paper product was available. So you had napkins and paper towels and tissues and all this shit. Seemed like sanitizer and like the wipes, the sanitizing wipes were the things that people really wanted that they couldn't get. I'm pretty sure they're going to be restocked, though. I don't think this is going to be something that just keeps happening, but who knows, man? A lot of panic buying out there right now. If you can afford to stock up, I mean, most people are prepared with food. Just shit in their house, water, canned goods that they can make it quite a while without even trying to be prepared. But it's always good to be prepared a month out. You know, if you can afford to do that, just do it. No, 1,500 stores in 5 states in the Southeast. All right, cool. Publix. Yeah, Winn-Dixie. Someone says they remember Winn-Dixie from rehab in Jacksonville. It's very specific. Oh, people overcharging on Amazon for sanitizer. Yeah, you're always going to get that with these kind of supply-demand situations. You're never going to be able to stop that. That's something that's always going to happen. Someone's demanding a spooky Sunday on human sacrifice. Oh, we'll put it on the list. You can only do 1 topic a week. So we'll get to all of these topics, We try to make a fun one every week, All right. couple more weird things around this, and then we'll get into some updates on the Doomsday Cult. Now, I know we played this on the main channel, the Neil deGrasse Tyson with the hypodermic needle tie, but I just wanted to play his quick sentence of what he said because this perfectly describes what the whole thing is. A huge experiment, a huge setup situation. I mean, he just comes right out and says it. He's usually the spokesperson for things like this.
Okay, so I'm broadly scientifically literate, but what I will say of this virus, I think we're in the middle of a massive experiment worldwide. And that
where
is
are the guinea pigs?
Maybe the experiment is, will people listen to scientists?
Go get your vaccinations, kids. We're in the middle of a huge experiment, and we're the guinea pigs. I mean, right out in front of you with his little needle tie that he has on. Can't make this stuff up. Got about 105 people here. Been about an hour. That's not bad. I like this channel because it's a little more chill. Some of this stuff I'm going to clip up sometimes and put on the main channel, though, depending on what the topic is. We try to keep it specifically to certain things over here, though. We don't get into some of the things that we will on the main channel over here. Like I said, Bill Gates has resigned from the Microsoft board amidst all this stuff. And they're really pumping a lot of stuff in the media. You have the NBA season down. You have the XFL season going down. UFC fights are going to be without crowds. Schools are being shut down. I think the only reason New York City isn't shut down is because they have so many homeless people. They can't even shut the schools down because the kids have nowhere to go, which is just gross in itself. But you're just going to keep hearing more and more and more. I mean, you might have 2 cases within the whole, say somewhere like Massachusetts. I think they have 2 cases in the whole state, and they're shutting all the schools down for a few weeks. I heard Disney World is going to be shut down. So, I mean, you have a lot of people pumping fear up by not having a lot of cases, but shutting everything down. So that causes a lot of panic on people. That makes people believe that this is much more dangerous than it may be. Makes people not want to go out in public, makes people not want to be around other human beings, which is a dividing tactic. I'm going to play this real quick clip of Bill Gates talking about his doomsday bunkers and, what he thinks of a pandemic, and then we'll get into another topic here. I was not planning on doing an hour on this stuff.
Fortunately, there's very few things, and most of them are very low probability. Some big volcanic explosion, gigantic earthquake, asteroid. Well, at least in the nuclear case, you've got to say we take it quite seriously. We budget a lot of money, have a lot of people who think about nuclear deterrence, and I'm very glad that work's being done, and I rate the chance of a nuclear war in my lifetime as being fairly low.
So we ran out of toilet paper at the local store, but they added a 4th flavor of Bang today, which it's the first time I've seen it there. So, they're stepping up in some regards.
I rate the chance of a widespread epidemic far worse than Ebola in my lifetime is well over 50%.
And he loves his vaccinations. We've all seen his TED Talks, his different speeches and interviews. He loves talking about his vaccinations. He was the one, Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, they're behind a lot of this stuff. They've ran the simulations for Event 201, the Clot X that I showed you the other night. So they're behind a lot of these things that are pumping these simulation fear tactics out into the media.
If we look at the 20th century and we look at the death chart of the 20th century, I think everybody would say, oh yeah, there must be a spike for World War I. Sure enough, there it is, like 25 million. And there must be a big spike for World War II, and there it is, it's like 65 million. But then you'll see this other spike that is as large as World War II right after World War I. And most people, a lot of people would say, well, what? What was that? There's 2 kinds of flus. There's flus that spread between humans very effectively, and there's flus that kill lots of people. And those 2 properties have only been combined into a widespread flu once in history. Well, that...
He loves this shit. He's so giddy talking about it.
Work harder on it. And it's very natural, if you have a group like that, to say, hey, look at something like the Spanish flu in the modern day. Health systems are far better. And so you think, hey, that wouldn't be very bad. Well, we tried it, and there are some assumptions we had to make. But what we showed is that the force of infection because of modern transport, which compared to 1918 is over 50 times as great. And so if you get something like the flu, and you look at that map of how within days, it's basically in all urban centers of the entire globe, that is very eye-opening. That didn't.
And this whole thing is for his little doomsday bunker that, you know, he can afford because of all of his billions and billions of dollars. It's on some channel that just sells, if you guys want the link to this, it's for some channel that does these survival shelters. But Bill Gates and a lot of these CEOs are famous for having these doomsday bunkers and weird ways to escape their offices. And it's just, if you guys ever looked into any of these big-time CEOs like Zuckerberg or Jeff Bezos, they have these elaborate operations from their office. They usually have bulletproof glass. They have chutes. I mean, this guy's got like underwater submarines. I'm not even kidding here. This guy has... You know, these people are constantly worried about end-of-the-world doomsday scenarios. You know, and people make jokes like, oh, it's a zombie apocalypse. No, like they're prepared for end-of-the-world scenarios because they know that there's end-of-the-world scenarios that are always in the works. But enough about the coronavirus. How is everybody doing? An hour into the show, 110 people here. Audience is growing over here. So that is very good to see. If anybody does want to support the show, support the work we're doing, and just all the channels we have, you can do so through PayPal. Very appreciated. I'm going to pull up some links about this doomsday cult that we've been trying to keep updated on. I've seen a couple channels now kind of covering this, but not too many. You kind of got to go into the true crime world of YouTube to find this stuff. And even some of those channels, it's just hard to keep up on because you're getting little updates here and there. Let me see if I was going to do this one first, though. Yeah, I want to do this story first, and then we'll get into that. All right. So this was at Arizona prison. Now, this story came out last year, but there was just a update in it a few days ago. This is a weird one.
They're the videos that expose cell doors inside Buckeye's Lewis prison not locking, and we got them because a brave insider took a risk to expose a problem that's long been ignored. She's now revealing herself, and in an exclusive interview with ABC 15 investigator Dave Biscobing, she says top officials knew and even came to see the problem themselves, including director Charles Ryan.
Before Sergeant Gabriela Contreras leaked the videos that have shaken the entire state prison system, for months, she says she tried to report the broken doors in inspection reports, emails to her supervisors, even top administrators.
All those, they were ignored. So I had no other choice but to stand up for the officers, for my staff.
She says Director Ryan and top staff even came to Lewis Prison late last year to tour the units and look into the problem.
I would say the director came around November, right after one of the assaults took place.
So one of the assaults in one of those videos you leaked out?
I believe so.
And he came on site?
He came on site.
With his team?
Correct.
And what did they do?
They toured that building, and he opened some doors himself, took pins off and checked the doors.
Contreras says the team also talked with inmates about the doors.
Basically trying to negotiate on keeping them in their cells. So they were offering, maybe better programming, clothing, pretty much telling them, okay.
Better programming. Just weird, but yeah, so the situation we have here is an Arizona prison, locks not working on the doors, officers being attacked, and this woman comes out and just basically leaks the video to the press, gets the warden to come down, gets the heads of the state to come down and tour the prison, and people in the media are praising her. but she's in like a little shit with the other guards. She's in shit with her superiors. They're not happy about this being exposed. It's not something that they're like, oh, thank you for leaking this to the press. No, they don't like this shit. They don't want whistleblowers. They were fine with just this happening and, you know, kind of it being covered up and hush hush. So there is, I'm going to have to pull up a couple links here, but this is a pretty crazy story where this leads. And I really like these stories because, you know, this is just something that we're usually not going to talk about. So she said she did this because she was just tired of, you know, other staff mates of hers that were getting attacked. And she just thought it was a good idea to bring them to any local media outlet that would take them. But she started claiming that she was getting some retaliation for what happened. So I'm going to pull up a couple of those here. So prison whistleblower says she couldn't stay silent, has faced retribution for disclosing broken locks. This was May 21st, 2019. The corrections officer who prompted a statewide investigation by exposing broken cell locks at Arizona prison said Tuesday coming forward has taken a toll on her professionally, resulting in a lost week of pay and a missed promotion. So punishment for coming out. Sergeant Contreras said she did not regret her decision to download and leak videos of attacks related to broken locks at Lewis Prison, saying that she thinks law enforcement is about having integrity, good ethics, and said that if, you know, nothing was going to happen with it, then she was going to come out and say something. At least at the end of the day, she knows that she put it out there. Corrections spokesman did not immediately respond to requests for not acceptable, guys. So unacceptable stuff. So there was going to be some punishments laid down for her. Arizona prison officials reversed punishments for whistleblower who exposed broken locks. So not only was she getting harassed, loses pay, loses a promotion, but they were actually going to punish her for, you know, releasing videotapes from inside the prison. But they eventually ended up reimbursing her for a 40-hour work week. They made eligible a promotion. And, you know, at this point of, you know, as of last summer, they were trying to, in the public, mend this whole situation and, you know, just try to make everything look good. Well, now we got some updates in the case. And this is where it gets a little weird. Whistleblower who exposed broken prison locks found dead at age 31. Contreras sent surveillance footage to ABC last April that showed inmates at Buckeye Prison moving freely in and out of their cells. About a month after leaking the videos, Contreras revealed her identity and also accused Lewis prison managers of telling employees to alter reports to make the broken door problem not seem so bad. She also claimed that she had been caught downloading the videos before leaking them, resulting in the suspensions. Yep. So she was found dead, gunshot wound, back of the head, and they're calling it a suicide. I do have some more links on this. Oh, yeah. Oh, yep. Probably fell. Yeah, probably normal. Just, you know, the obvious gunshot to the back of the head. I just have to pull up one more link. All right, here we go. Prison whistleblower who exposed unsafe conditions in Arizona facility found dead. Police in Arizona said her death is being treated as a suicide. So this person that would go out of their way just to help other officers, this person that went out of their way to, unleash this whole kind of scam that was going on and expose these faulty locks that were, resulting in people getting hurt. She just decides a year later to shoot herself in the back of the head. An Arizona correctional sergeant who blew the whistle on corruption and unsafe conditions inside a jail facility was found dead in apparent suicide, confirmed by ABC News. She risked her position at the former Lewis Corrections Department in Buckeye last April. And you're not getting a lot of reports of the death itself. They're just trying to say, oh, suicide, that's how it's being reported, that's how it's being investigated. But this is a person that uncovered a lot of shit that did not work out well for a lot of these higher ups during that time because of how they handled the situation. So to say that she had a target on her would be an understatement. So I am not buying any normal death in this situation. Now, I've been trying to find links and I've been trying to find more information. All you're getting is the standard line of suicide. I mean, that's really the only thing they keep coming out and saying. They're not giving you where her body was found, how exactly it was found. I've heard reports from different places that said it was a back of the head shot. How they deemed it was a suicide, it's very hard to find information because this happened about a day or two ago. But the family came out and said, or the county medical examiner office ruled Contreras' manner of death as suicide caused by a gunshot wound to the head, according to online records, whatever that could mean. Now, the family came out and said their beloved friend was taken too soon. So that's definitely not a statement you make for suicide. And the family did not comment to ABC about the quote suicide. Someone said Freedom of Information Act, the coroner's report. Yeah, I mean, there's going to be some deeper dives into it. I haven't found the information leaked online yet, and I've been really searching it out too. A lot of them are just reporting it as that kind of standard issue suicide. I'm going to try one more time just to see if there's any news updates as of today. Have any of you guys heard of this story? I mean, some people sometimes have heard of some of these stories and have some information. But yeah, usually they sweep these things under the rug. If they were willing to sweep multiple attacks at the prisons under the rug and, dock this woman pay and make sure she couldn't get a promotion, then they would not be against, sweeping the death of her under the rug. Gunshot wound to the head, according to online records. Just 3 days ago, they were still determining the cause of death. So I don't think we're going to get any more updates than that right now. Sad story, though. Got a whistleblower. And, I mean, that's just the constant theme that you see. Whistleblowers that come out with information end up dying in mysterious circumstances. And really, they're never solved or they're never looked into any further. And it's just one of those mysteries that we have to, we know what happened, but we'll never have it officially on paper. No one ever go to jail for it. All right. Yeah, I forgot where I heard about this one, where the first time I heard about this one was, but these are stories that I just kind of always keep saved for this channel. When I come across them, I always bookmark a bunch of stuff and make sure I have it in order so I can bring you guys these kind of stories. That's kind of how we got into the doomsday cult stuff. I saw the missing kid thing, figured I'd report on it, and then constantly there was just updates and updates. Kids are still missing, so let's get into the Lori Vallow doomsday cult stuff. About an hour and 15 minutes in. So yeah, it's a good time to get into this story. Now, I'll do a quick recap of it, but I'm going to have some of you guys just remember part of this story. We've done about 2 or 3 streams where we've mentioned it, and there's so many moving parts to it. To rehash it every time just takes way too long. There's a lot of shit to dig into here. But how the disappearance of 2 kids exposed 3 deaths and a terrified husband. When authorities first began investigating the disappearance of 2 missing children in Idaho, excuse me, few could have guessed that the case would expand to 3 other deaths, rumors of a cult, and a mother who police say has completely refused to help them. Joshua J.J. Vallow, 7, and sister Tylee Ryan, 17, were reported missing by extended family and members to police in November of 2019. Authorities in Idaho have said that they think the children's lives are in danger. They have also lambasted Lori Vallow, a 46-year-old Rexburg, Idaho resident, and the adopted mother of Joshua and biological mother of Tylee for allegedly running off with her new husband, Chad Daybell, in the wake of it all. So she's with this Chad Daybell guy who's one of these Mormon Latter-day Saints prophecy authors. She married him 2 to 3 weeks after her husband was killed by her brother, which he said was in self-defense, which none of us believe. This was also a few weeks after Chad Daybell's wife died mysteriously. And then the brother that shot the husband also died mysteriously a few months later. So there's constant deaths around her. There's no charges formally in any of those cases. They're just under mysterious deaths being investigated right now. And we really just have to get into some of the updates in this stuff. We've been through the timeline. We've been through a lot of the stuff. Let me make sure you guys are caught up here. Yes, I coughed. It's just a cough. I already had some illness last week, so I think I'm good. I'm not going to get sick again. All right. So the last update that we gave was that she was extradited back to Idaho. She had, fled to Hawaii. Cops were investigating places, national parks, and they were trying to find a timeline of when the children last were seen, because you have them being pulled out of their schools. They don't, basically it's September of 2019 was the last time these children were seen. There's weird footage coming from a storage facility she was at. We're going to pull up a lot of this stuff. Idaho mom Lori Vallow remains jailed as bond companies reportedly refuse to work with her. So she was in jail on a $5 million bond, right? She gets extradited to Idaho. I'm hearing reports that the judge in the case is actually one of these Mormons that's involved in this preparing a people cult, or some of these LDS, Latter-day Saint cults, because she gets to Idaho. And this was what they wanted the whole time. They just, if she wasn't going to bring the kids forward, they wanted to get her back to Idaho, extradited, and bring charges for, child neglect, not, telling them where the children are, and eventually probably getting charged with some kind of harming of the child if she can't produce them. Well, she gets there, and the judge instantly brings the bond from $5 million to $1 million, which makes it way more affordable for her to get off and leave. So everyone's questioning the judge why he would even do this. I'm hearing rumors that he might be involved in this, weird Mormon cult that's happening down there, and that it actually may be more widespread than any of us had thought before. And this is why she's been able to get away with all these crimes leading up to this. The mysterious death of her husband, where he's shot. There's 3 people there. It's her brother, and her husband. He's killed, and they just buy the story that it was self-defense. So they're thinking there's a lot of people in this cult behind the scenes that are pulling strings for her, and it's it's a big operation. I don't know how true that is, but that's very suspect to drop the bond from $5 million when this is like target number 1. This is enemy number 1. No one likes this woman. Anyone that's not going to produce their own children just to prove that they're fine and they haven't been seen, you don't drop the bond for that woman. I mean, that's just I don't even understand how this judge could come in and get away with something like that. But he did. And so she's trying to work, and like these bond companies won't even work with her. They're like, well, we're not even going to fucking honor that because it shouldn't even been dropped. I don't even know how legal any of this stuff is. I don't know if bond companies have the right to just refuse to work with her, but this whole situation is odd. Every rabbit hole I go down with this thing is weird. And I'm just going to pull it up link by link, and we're going to go through this thing. Any updates I have, I'm just going to share with you guys. Someone said, is she 6'5"? I don't think so. I don't know her height. She looked a lot different from that picture than her fucking mugshot, I'll tell you that much. Man, I'm still trying to find the podcast that she was on, too. I would love to get the audio of that, but that thing's been scrubbed. Yes, the bond started at $5 million. She was extradited back, and the judge lowered it to $1 million. All right, so cult mom Lori Vallow's husband, Chad Daybell, emailed her about building, quote, white camps, worked a college job as a grave digger.
The so-called cult mom.
Okay, I don't like Nancy Grace, but she's just on this Fox News clip.
Lori Vallow. She is called cult mom because she has, within a few weeks after her fourth husband being shot dead, she remarries to Chad Daybell. To Rich Robertson, PI with R3 Investigations in Tempe. Rich, tell me about the cult that Lori Vallow and new husband Chad Daybell are part of.
Well, cult is kind of broad term. The folks that Chad Daybell seemed to be some kind of a leader of a small group that included Lori Vallow and her niece Melanie and a number of their friends and a number of people in Rexburg. They seem to be a subgroup of a larger kind of fringe prepper group.
So this is all around the Latter-day Saints. She believes that she's a god. She said she's there for the resurrection of Jesus, which is going to be in July of this year, so be ready for that. But they call it a doomsday cult just because this guy is very influential. This Chad Daybell that she's married to has written 25 books, full of these prophecies. She's the god that's going to lead the 144,000 of these Latter-day Saints members when when Jesus comes back. It's this whole thing. There's definitely a large movement of them because I'm just keep hearing a lot of rumors that a lot of them are behind the scenes that have helped her hide these kids, keep it a secret, make sure that she was made to be on the run for that long where she didn't get arrested. They said they have judges, lawyers, police officers, a lot of people involved in this. So the email listed a plan to translate ancient records, write a book about the translation plot, identify locations in the Northeast Arizona for white camps, which I think are just camps where they set up and have these whatever kind of gatherings they're going to have, establish the presidency of the Church of the Firstborn, help establish the food distribution and the tribulation start, ordain individuals to translation as the camps begin. Last week, Daybell sat in a Madison County, Idaho courtroom where his second wife, Lori Vallow, clad in orange and white striped jumpsuit with blonde curls, smiled before a judge who lowered her bail from $5 million to $1 million. And like I said, everyone reacted to that the same. They basically all said, what the hell? How did that even happen? Daybell reportedly worked as a grave digger more than 28 years ago while attending Brigham Young University in Provo, Utah. I can tell you another thing. The judge that lowered the bail went to Brigham Young University. So I don't know if they know each other, but they definitely are from the same alma mater. And there's a lot of little weird connections like that in this case. I've tried to look into this judge, and that basically that they got his school listed, and this is the only big case that he's been on that I can find. So enhanced video shows who visited Lori Daybell's storage unit the same day her relative was shot in Arizona. Enhanced higher quality surveillance footage appears to answer questions about who visited Lori Vallow storage unit in Rexburg last year. The video may prove insights into the disappearance of her children. So surveillance video shows Daybell driving into the business in her blue Nissan Rogue with a man that they originally thought was her brother. A closer look at the enhanced video obtained by the Idaho News shows it wasn't her brother, but Chad Daybell, her now husband, based on the man's walk, look, and mannerisms. So they show up to this storage unit with a huge ass bag. The whole thing is odd.
I'm Nate Eaton, and we are getting a closer look at surveillance on the first. But on October 2nd, she came in her blue Nissan Rogue with a man we originally thought was Alex Cox, her brother. But a closer look of enhanced high-quality video shows it likely was not Alex. In fact, it appears to be Chad Daybell, based on the way he walks, looks, and comparing his mannerisms to other video we have of him. Let me walk you through this. The blue Rogue arrives at 2:25. You can see the timestamp says 1:25, but that's because the clocks were off, according to the facility.
Always.
Lori is driving the Rogue and makes her way to the door of the building where her unit is. She gets out 2 minutes later at 2:27 with the man we believe is Chad. At 2:29, he pulls a tire out of the back of the Rogue and rolls it into the storage unit. Then 1 minute later, he and Lori both carry in together what appears to be a same day. Brandon Boudreaux says that he was shot at in Gilbert, Arizona around 9:30 that morning while coming home from the gym. Brandon had been married to Melanie, Lori's niece, and he had a very large life insurance policy and assets totaling over $1 million. Months earlier, Melanie began spending a lot of time with Lori and her religious group. Then Melanie suddenly demanded a divorce from Brandon. The bullet missed his head by inches, and police say the person who shot at him was driving a Jeep registered to Charles Vallow.
And Charles Vallow was shot by Lori Vallow's brother in front of her. So, I mean, they have a bunch of close evidence to take this woman down, but just seem to be lacking that one piece that proves that she's manipulating everything behind the scenes. It's just, I think most of us here at this point are very worried that something has happened to these children. The fact that they have not been seen, nobody's spoken out of the family saying, oh yeah, they hit them here, or they moved them here, or they killed them. I mean, I'm assuming that these children have passed on, have been killed by their mother. That's my belief, but you know, until we can prove it, it's going to be hard to say that outright. But the FBI is going out asking for photos, any videos of the missing kids from around September, or any of the last photos that they can find. They know that they visited a national park that was close to them. So they're trying to get anybody that was just there to bring their footage down, because who knows what they could have found in the background, or maybe snapped a picture, anything, which that tells me that they've lost the trail, basically, and they need to come up with some idea of when is the day that these kids actually went missing.
For JJ Vallow and Tylee Ryan. This as their mother is on her way from Hawaii to Idaho to face a judge this week. Our Chase Biefeld is here with what we have learned just minutes ago from the FBI.
Tammy, the FBI and the Rexburg Police Department are now asking anyone who visited Yellowstone National Park on September 8th, 2019 to send them photos or video that might help them in their investigation. Police have determined both children were at Yellowstone that day with Lori and Lori's brother, Alex Cox. These are photos the FBI sent us from that day. In the past, we've reported that September 8th was the last day Tylee was seen. JJ was last seen later on that month. The FBI...
So, the son was seen later that month because she had to physically pull him out of one of the schools he was in. So that's why they have an exact date for him and not an exact date for the 17-year-old daughter. All right. I got a few more updates in here, and then we'll see where we're at. So many different things. All right, closer look. Got some court footage of her. That they're actually finally looking into her husband's death as mysterious. And people explaining kind of what this cult is. Like I said, it's called Preparing a People. There's also some other sites that I found called AVOW, Another Voice of Warning, which sells Chad Daybell's books. They have some weird writings on there. But a lot of these places have kind of closed up shop. They've removed a lot of stuff from their sites with any ties to her now that she's been arrested.
We are continuing to...
So it's very hard to find the old podcast that she was doing or any old statements that she would have made or any reviews she left on the website or any reviews she left for his books. They've scrubbed all that stuff and no one had archived it.
Follow this bizarre, complicated story involving 2 missing children and 3 suspicious deaths. Former Arizona resident Lori Vallow facing charges for abandoning her children, and as of tonight, she still has not posted bond up in Idaho.
Yeah, tonight we dig deeper into the mysterious deaths of Lori's former husband, Charles, her brother, Alex Cox, and her new husband's dead wife, Tammy Daybell. Now, Kim Powell is back from Rexburg, Idaho, with more on this latest development. Kim, what can you tell us?
Well, sources tell CBS News that there may be digital evidence that links Alex Cox to Tammy Daybell's death and Charles Vallow's death. The problem is, Alex died in December before he could be questioned.
My name is Alex. Last name is Cox, C-O-X.
He's been described as the family hitman.
What is the emergency?
I shot my brother-in-law.
Last July, Alex Cox shot Charles Vallow, his sister's husband, in what he claimed as self-defense.
I turned around and he hit me in the back of the head with a bat. So I went to my room and got my gun.
Charles was at Lori Vallow's home picking up his son for school. Lori and Charles were at odds in divorce proceedings. Their Chandler home almost completely empty. Alex told police he was just visiting.
You brought a gun with you?
Yes.
Do you always
Yes.
bring a gun?
I have a concealed carry always.
Yeah, it's Arizona. Yeah, have a gun. Not a big deal.
Okay. Just to be safe.
It's not the first.
The really weird part of this whole thing is then he was killed months later. This whole thing's mysterious. But like I said, they're lacking that one piece of evidence to tie her to all this stuff. They're finally investigating that death as mysterious. They had wrapped up the case as just self-defense, everything's okay. But now with everything that's happened, they're finally reopening all these investigations. Maybe they can solve a couple of them while she's behind bars. But I think that judge dropping the bail to $1 million is a major part in this. It seems like they're trying to get her out before she can face the music for any of this stuff. Harry Henderson says she is the mastermind. She's definitely the single focus that seems to be manipulating a lot of pieces, but I think the new husband is very odd as well. I mean, he's the guy that's written 25 of these books. So a member of the religious group that follows Chad Daybell is speaking out to CBS 5. Chad Daybell was an author of doomsday-themed books who did not have much exposure outside Mormon circles and the community of, quote, preppers who stockpile food and supplies. And I never want to make this case about, crazy preppers. It's just this specific group we're talking about that also has these extra Mormon and prophecy beliefs. But that all changed when he met and married Lori Vallow. Like Daybell, Vallow claimed to see the end of times. So they have these visions they think they have. In July, Vallow's brother Cox shot and killed her husband. At the beginning of September, Vallow moved to Rexburg, Idaho with her 2 children. In October, Chad Daybell's wife Tammy died in her sleep Police are now investigating that death. Daybell and Vallow were married 2 weeks later. They have refused to cooperate with the investigators who are looking for the children. In December, Vallow's brother Alex Cox died suddenly. That's being investigated. On Saturday, a member of the religious group that follows Vallow and Daybell spoke to CBS 5. We are concealing her identity. Uh-oh. She said both she and Daybell communicate with spirits and that they are true Mormons. She said they stockpile food and supplies because the world will come to an end. And she said she will not judge Daybell because people are all sinners. She referred to the organization as a cult, but was unclear whether, that was a sarcastic thing or just what they call it. When asked what the group was called, she said it's called Preparing a People. That is the name of a, quote, media organization which held events and hosted podcasts which at times featured Daybell and Vallow. Quote, life is sacred to us. We are innocent of any involvement in Chad or Lori's personal lives. So that Preparing a People has distanced itself and basically shut down all operations. So we're not part of this, but they were obviously a major part. One prominent critic of the fringe group with connections to the Mormon religion is Fiora Jessup. She escaped from Warren Jeff's polygamous community and helped others escape as well. There's always going to be the ability to take scripture and use it for your own gain, which is what these people are doing. She says Vallow and Daybell are taking cues from a familiar playbook. They go to church, they're members of the church, they recruit from the church. This is not a secret organization, said Jessup. Yeah, so these are the little updates you're getting. And I've been trying to follow, any of the true crime shows that I watch to see if anyone's doing any updates on it. And I don't think anyone's really put out more information than what I've been able to find. Like I said, I've gone to a couple of these sites. We've looked through the Preparing a People site together. They scrubbed everything. And then I found this other one. We played that woman that was having the thought messages and the visions. There's this site called Another Voice of Warning. This seems like a place that sells Chad Daybell's books, and they have like a forum there where they talked about the case a little bit, but they've even been starting to scrub some of the more major things. So I think that's going to be it for the updates on that case tonight. Any time that there's an update that's something major, when I can get a bunch of them together, we'll do updates over on this channel. How's everybody doing? I'm gonna see if I have any more stories before we get out of here. Let me see here. Because I just want to see if there's anything that's not too long. Yeah, we'll probably do this. We'll probably do one more and then get out of here. Because this one is, it's not conspiratorial. It's not spooky. But I want to get into it. This is the Andrew Gillum story. Very odd. Well, not really. Kind of expected. All right, get out of here, Chet. What are you doing? Chet Hanks, man. He's a gangster. All right, I just want to hit record here. All right, so we're going to talk about the Andrew Gillum crystal meth incident in Miami Beach. If you guys aren't familiar with Andrew Gillum, he was a prominent Democrat, former mayor of Tallahassee, and he was a candidate for Florida governor. This guy was, touted as basically the next Obama at one point. And we're going to get into what happened to him over the weekend and, how he tried to spin this little thing. And I think you guys are going to enjoy this one. Most of you probably have already heard about this. Maybe you guys have seen other people cover it. But I'm going to do my best to give it some justice here. Someone says they've never heard of this guy. Well, that's good. You're about to. Andrew Gillum, involved in suspected crystal meth incident in Miami Beach. Police say Gillum is the former mayor of Tallahassee and a Democratic candidate for Florida governor. So Andrew Gillum was involved in a suspected crystal meth incident early Friday morning. What's a crystal meth incident? That's a weird way to kind of label a situation. I think we're going to have to look further into police reports and kind of what happened here. I don't like the name crystal meth incident. That's a little too broad for me. Well, there's no broads involved. This is all men. Excuse me for misspeaking. It's a little too wide-ranging for me. According to a police report, Miami Beach fire rescue crews were called to a hotel at 1100 West Avenue shortly after 1 a.m. regarding a suspected drug overdose. Okay. Authorities said Gillum, age 40, and 2 other men were inside the hotel room at the time. Okay, so we have 3 men, 1 in the morning, doing crystal meth with an overdose. What do we think was going on here, guys? Just a couple buddies getting together? Do you think we have some kind of orgy situation, some kind of gay hookup situation going on here? That would be my first suspicion, is we have on the low, undercover, this is the stuff that they do. This is the down low, nasty shit that these people are into. And I know that we've caught these people, and we have, someone said maybe a room whack situation. Maybe. I think they were doing more than just whacking at this point. They had 3 of them in there. Now, according to the report, one of the men, this guy Aldo Mejas, 56 years old, told officers that he gave a 30-year-old his credit card information to rent that hotel room for the night earlier in the day. So this older guy gives this credit card to a younger guy, and at 4 p.m., he rents this hotel room. So this thing's been set up. So any way that Gillum is trying to say he just showed up here, or, this is some random thing, this thing was bought in advance earlier that day. They rented the room at 4 p.m. Mejas arrived at the room later at the night, at which point Gillum and the other guy were already there, inside the hotel room, appearing to be under the influence of a, quote, unknown substance. Well, we know what that substance was. Police said, according to the report, Dyson opened the hotel room door and immediately walked to the bed and collapsed in a prone position. He told officers Dyson was having difficulty breathing and began vomiting on the bed before collapsing a second time. He said he began conducting chest compressions on Dyson before calling 911. According to the police report, officers who responded to the hotel room tried to speak with Gillum, but he was too inebriated, too methed out. Fire rescue personnel took Dyson to Mount Sinai Medical Center in stable condition. They returned to the hotel room to check on Gillum, who authorities said was stable and whose vitals went back down to normal. So they got there while he was high out of his mind. According to the police report, officers found 3 small clear bags inside the hotel room containing crystal meth. The suspected narcotics were impounded as evidence. Authorities said Gillum left the hotel room and returned to his residence without incident. Oh, isn't that nice? Isn't that just great? And when you're one of these politicians and high-level people, that you can be in a room with just you and one other person high, they find the drugs and you just get to go home without incident. Isn't that so nice that they let these people just get away with things like this? So Gillum released a statement saying that this is his story. This is his story. I was at a wedding Thursday night and was drinking, but I deny taking any methamphetamines. I was in Miami last night for a wedding celebration when first responders were called to assist one of my friends. Oh yeah, I'm sure he's just one of your buds. While I had too much to drink, I want to clear that I've never used any methamphetamines. I do apologize to the people of Florida for the distractions this has caused for our movement. Yeah, your movement is your movement's full of these people, number one. So I don't know how much of a distraction this is. They probably love this kind of stuff. But I don't think any of us are buying this story that this was just a nice little wedding, got a little tipsy, and ended up back at a hotel room with you and one other guy with meth. I don't think any of us are buying that story. But he's thankful to the EMS for helping his buddy out. The fact that people let people get away with statements like this is unbelievable. We're pretty sure it was just you and one other man in a room, hammered and on meth. So, yeah, I don't think this was just an after-wedding party that you were helping a buddy out with the EMTs. Yep, the meth movement. Sounds like, could it be a setup? I mean, it could be a situation where somebody knew he was there and tipped somebody off, but I'm pretty sure that he's into this kind of shady shit. Most of these politicians have a lot of this undercover stuff. They're all into this nasty shit. So we can read the clear plastic baggies containing suspected crystal meth on both the bed and the floor of the hotel room. The 3 small baggies of suspected narcotics were impounded at Miami Beach. Mr. Gillum left the hotel room and returned to his residence without incident. So, I mean, we got him on the police report itself. Upon arrival, officers then made contact with 2 other males who were inside the room. Andrew Gillum and Mr. Mejas stated the following to the officers. So this Mejas guy was the one that had the credit card, but the younger man that was in the room with Gillum was the one using the credit card. Travis Dyson, who rented the hotel room for the night, and Mejas was to meet Mr. Dyson later that day. He rented the room at 4 p.m., and when this Mejas guy came back, the owner of the credit card, he came back later that night. He discovered Dyson and Gillum inside the room on meth. He says Gillum was in the bathroom vomiting, and Mejas stated that he observed Mr. Dyson having difficulty breathing. So he just shows up to the house. Gillum's in the bathroom puking his guts out, and the other guy's on the bed basically unresponsive. So I'm pretty sure we can safely say that we have just 2 gay people in a room doing some weird shit, doing some drugs. And they're going to do their best to try to cover this up and just go with his official story that, oh, no, this was a wedding. It's just a normal wedding situation. I went to go see one of my buddies, and then, thank God the EMT showed up because my buddy was really sick. Come on now. But it's pretty clear what happened here. But he'll probably not get any drug charges, but he's not going to be able to outrun this one in the public. Conspiracy says he probably shot it up. I don't know exactly how they were taking the meth, but I'm not going to buy any other situation other than some kind of gay orgy situation. That's what I'm thinking this is, and that's how I'm going to report on it. I think that's it for any updates and any stories I really want to get into tonight. Now, I do have a main channel stream that I'm going to want to get out. I was going to add that story to it, but I figured since we were already here that I'd get into it. But as far as what I have ready for the main channel, we had a couple of those coronavirus stories that I actually brought here, so we'll probably not do those again. I wanted to talk about this Barnard freshman called Tessa Majors who was murdered earlier this month. There was actually a 14-year-old that got charged with the murder, so we want to look into that. The fake push of Joe Biden and everything going on around that. Netanyahu gave an AIPAC address that I never got to talk about. The Abby Martin story of her suing Georgia over pledging to Israel. The New York City taxpayers spending millions on a cyber center with ties to Israeli intelligence. I got all these old Facebook videos that we were going to go through from my old, my original YouTube channel. I found some old videos that I posted to an old Facebook page. So we're going to go through some of those. I got Operation Northwoods, some old artificial intelligence stuff. I got some stuff on that Nathan Thompson flat earth guy that I want to get into. Some kind of funny shit about him. And yeah, a lot of stuff actually for the next stream on the main channel. Obviously, if you guys want to share any links with me, just do it through the Discord. That's probably the best way to be able to, get my attention on something. Oh, the Chinese techno-fascists? Oh, maybe if I can find some links on them, I'll make sure to bring those up. I'll hang on in the chat for a second if anybody's got anything they wanted to ask. If anybody wants to support the channel or anything I'm doing, any of the channels, all the work, you can do so through PayPal. There's the link. It's paypal.me/Davey Crocko. Someone said, oh, they didn't realize it was Friday the 13th. Yeah, good night to watch a scary movie. It's windy as hell here, cold. It's a good night just to chill out. I'm probably just going to watch a little Nightwave, relax. Don't know if we're going to do the main channel stream tonight since I already did this 2-hour one, but we definitely are going to have one tomorrow, and then we'll have Spooky Sunday on Sunday. So it'll be one stream on Davey Crocko 2, which the other night the numbers were amazing. So I'm assuming we're just kind of growing and growing over there. And then we'll be back Sunday on this channel. So Davey Crocko 2 either late tonight or tomorrow, and then Sunday on this channel. We never did the Harvey Weinstein case either. It's kind of like there was only the one update of him, getting the 23 years, but I had a whole kind of stream set up for it. So I'm going to try to kind of just put together one big stream for the main channel with all this stuff. I just have to organize my links a little bit, and we'll be good. All right. I think that's it, guys. Appreciate you guys coming to hang out. If anybody wants to support the show, you can do so through Streamlabs or PayPal. If anybody wants to send me stuff, you can do so on Twitter or Discord. And as always, whatever channel we're on, I will see you in the next one.